Yes, so you are tuned into the Music and Culture podcast with Mandla Gengirkani. I really appreciate your time. Please make sure that you do the right thing. Subscribe, comment, share, like, whatever you can do to make sure that you're part of the team. I really appreciate your time. So on this video, I'm going to do two things: to expose lies and facts about the Shebeshit car accident. I'm going to expose lies and facts about the Shebeshit car accident. This is the accident that happened on Saturday night, 8 June, on the R37 road next to Smelter Mines in Pulukwani. This is where Shebeshit's car collided with a truck or lorry at around 10 p.m. out in Limpopo. So let's just look at what people have been saying, which are facts, and also we'll look at what people are saying, which are lies. So, what are the facts? Well, number one, there's reports that Shebeshit lost his daughter, 9-year-old, during that accident. Yeah, we can all say we've seen some comments from officials about it. Official comments from the Limpopo Department of Transport confirmed that. We've also seen a video circulating on social media. We've also seen someone very close to Shebeshit's posting on his Facebook, DJ Call Me. He posted a video saying that Shebeshit's lost his daughter during that accident. We've seen that, right? So then we can agree that is a fact. And number two, there's reports that Shebeshit is facing life-threatening injuries. Yeah, based on the video that we've seen on social media and also the confirmation from the Department of Transport, Limpopo Transport have confirmed that the driver of the vehicle is facing life-threatening injuries. That one we can agree because there's some official confirmation on it. We've seen that video. Thirdly, there's reports that the mother was treated for minor injuries. We can agree to that. Fourthly, there's reports that Shebeshit was treated for some serious injuries at the scene before being transported to hospital. Yes, we can also agree to that. Yes, we can also agree to that. We've seen a video of Shebeshit lying on the ground, surrounded by people and first respondents or paramedics. Yes, he was treated. He looked like he was being treated for some injuries before being taken away. So that one we can say it's facts. So those ones we can say those are facts. We can agree to that. We can believe that. But then there's lies. There's a lot of lies that are doing the rounds about this accident. We've seen a lot of lies, and are being reported and are being repeated by media. They're being repeated by so many people. These lies. Lie number one person who helped to spread the lies is Kotansase Pitori, who spoke to a crowd at a gig, telling them that Shebeshit has died. That was a lie. Shebeshit is not dead. That's a lie.
So hopola tshwarelo South Africa kaofela motlhabong ke jikelela Shebeshit o sa phela bana ba kgoshi o sa le gona a se a tlhokofala. So social media sometimes e confuse batho. Nna ka re ke MC di-fan kaofela di no go tseba re go iragalang ka re shebe a paletse go tla last week giging eo then ba ka peletse go tla bana ba batho. So speed recovery my friend. South Africa sa go rata bana ba kgoshi ditaba ke ditaba, social media ke social media, le ska itjela hlogong bad publicity bad publicity. Shebeshit speed recovery my friend. Ke a le leboha South Africa. Amen.
It's a good thing that he's apologized. Some people will have resorted to defending themselves and all that, which makes things worse. But right now he's apologized, but he's only apologized to the public or the social people. He hasn't apologized to Shebeshit. We don't know if he's called him directly or went to his family to apologize, because he need to apologize to Shebeshit's family. He need to apologize to Shebeshit as well. Another person that I saw is Musa Kaula. He's a famous social influencer. He posted that Shebeshit died. That's a lie. So those are lies. We just need to dispel them because those are lies. Secondly, there's reports that Shebeshit was traveling to a rally in Leboahom. He was traveling to a gig in Leboahom. That's what they say. This thing is being repeated by the media, it's being repeated by so many people. They're saying that Shebeshit was traveling to a rally in Limpopo. As you can see here, this is the poster for the rally, the ANC Siyanqoba rally. It's happening at Lebohomo. Guys, you guys forget that Shebeshit is from Lebohomo, and this gig was happening at his backyard in Lebohomo. How is it possible that Shebeshit will travel to a gig that is scheduled for Sunday on Saturday night? It does not make that. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. This Siyanqoba rally was scheduled for Sunday. This accident happened on Saturday night. Clearly, if it's from Lebohomo and the gig is happening in Lebohomo, the gig was for the following day, not on the night of the accident. I don't understand why people are repeating these lies. But anyway, another lie is that Shebeshit was traveling with 3 people in the car. So meaning it was him, his wife, his daughter, and another person. But then this other person, we haven't seen any reports about this third person. Another lie is that he lost his food. So many people are repeating this lie. And I believe that this lie is because of the fact that people saw a video of Shebeshit lying on the floor with a bandage on his foot. The funny thing is they also saw him with a bandage on his head. They never said he lost his head. But for his leg, they say he lost his leg, is being amputated and all those things. People are talking about amputations, and we don't have facts. We don't have, even if it's true, right now we don't have facts because we are only relying on a video based on the bandage. Then it's a lie. It's a lie. The last lie is that he's back in prison. He's going to rot in jail. People are saying he's going to rot in jail because of this accident. And I'm like, yo, people don't understand, because if he has to face the might of the law, it will have to be a homicide charge. And as we all know, homicide charge is divided into 2. Usually is a murder, and the other one is culpable homicide, which is negligence. So we don't know which one it is at this point. To understand culpable homicide, we have to look at the accepted definition thereof and fully break it down. According to SAPS, culpable homicide is defined as the unlawful and negligent killing of another human being. The key word here is negligent, whereas with murder, it will be the intentional killing. With culpable homicide, the death need only to have occurred as a result of negligence. Let's look at an example. If a motorist is driving and becomes distracted by their phone and subsequently gets into a car accident and someone dies as a result of that, they may be charged for culpable homicide. Why? Because although they did not intend to cause the accident, they were negligent when driving, and that negligence resulted in the death of another person, making the driver culpable of that. If there was no neglect on any party side, then the crime of culpable homicide did not occur, as the law does make way for accidents. So accident happened, guys. It can happen that it's just an accident. Let's say, for example, for argument's sake, let's say he's found guilty of culpable homicide. What are the chances that he'll be sentenced to go to prison? Let's look. According to literature here, there is no prescribed sentence for culpable homicide in South Africa, and it is entirely up to the courts and judge to decide. Someone convicted of this charge is usually fined or given a suspended sentence. However, some verdicts of culpable homicide have resulted in prison sentences, such as 12-year imprisonment with 3 years suspended. The majority of contemporary verdicts of culpable homicide in South Africa have only ever received lesser prison sentences, such as 4 years imprisonment, 5 years imprisonment, or 8 years imprisonment. So there's no proof that just because Shebeshit was driving and then they were involved in a car accident and then a daughter dies, that means he's going to prison. There's no proof there, because they have to look at all factors. It might happen that he was not negligent. It might happen that he was driving and then the truck, because they say the car collided with the truck and then the car overturned. That resulted in the death of his daughter, according to the reports, right? But what if it was not him that is at fault? What if the truck driver is the one that is at fault? We know Shebeshit has a history of speeding, of driving while recording, being on his cell phone. But at this point in time, yeah, we were not there. We don't know what were the circumstances. We don't know what are the facts. So we cannot judge and decide right now to say, oh, he's going to prison. No, it's that's not how it operates. That's not how it works. He has to go to court, and the court must find him guilty or not guilty. Then we can say, oh yeah, he's capable of the homicide. So thank you guys for watching the video. I really appreciate your time. Please make sure that you subscribe, comment, like, share, whatever you can do. Legere mina, ekestors, salut, mengatete mail.